In the early 1920s, Polish explorer Ferdynand Ossendowski emerged from the Mongolian steppe with an account that blurred the line between travelogue and myth. He spoke of Agarttha, a hidden subterranean world ruled by a figure of near-infinite power known as the King of the World. Critics immediately dismissed the story as a fabrication, pointing to earlier occult novels that described nearly identical underground kingdoms. While skeptics saw a fraud, others saw a threat. Religious alarmists interpreted this subterranean king as a literal antichrist, a shadow figure manipulating global events from the darkness. Both sides focused entirely on the physical reality of the story, looking for a geographic location to either debunk or fear, and in doing so, they overlooked the symbolic language being used. In 1927, philosopher René Guénon published a response that recontextualized the entire mystery. He argued that these travelers hadn't discovered a secret society, but had stumbled upon fragments of an ancient tradition. Guénon proposed that the King of the World functions as a universal metaphysical symbol, a recurring pattern found across vastly different cultures and eras. Approaching the story as a cosmic blueprint rather than a physical map allows these seemingly impossible claims to align with the core tenets of comparative religion. In Hindu tradition, this figure is known as Manu. Manu represents cosmic intelligence, the primordial principle that formulates the laws of our existence. Symbolically, this intelligence resides at the pole, the fixed point of an axis around which the entire world rotates. This concept was historically represented by the swastika. Long before its modern misuse, the symbol's geometry described a fixed center generating a movement it does not participate in. This central point maintains a state of perfect equilibrium between two forces, the spiritual wisdom of the priest and the temporal power of the king. The biblical figure of Melchizedek is a primary example of this union. In Genesis, he is both priest and king. His name translates to King of Justice, ruling Salem, the city of peace. This pairing reflects the essential attributes keeping a world in balance. When justice and peace emanate from a single, unified source, they represent the total authority of the King of the World, providing the stability required for a civilization to flourish. This central authority delegates its power through a three-part hierarchy: spirit, soul, and body. We find this exact structure in the Sanskrit syllable Om. Its three phonetic components correspond to these three worlds: the terrestrial, the atmospheric, and the celestial. Tibetan Lamaism mirrors this blueprint by dividing administrative, scientific, and spiritual leadership into a three-tiered system that reflects the cosmic hierarchy. This same architecture organizes the Christian narrative of the three magi, whose gifts were not merely valuable offerings, but symbolic acknowledgments of these three realms. Gold is offered to the king, representing mastery over the material world and the physical body. Incense is offered to the priest, acknowledging the realm of the spirit and the divine connection to the heavens. Across these different cultures, the gifts and the titles change, but the underlying three-part structure of authority remains constant. If this center represents the ultimate source of order and truth, why do the myths consistently describe it as being buried deep beneath the earth? The legend of the Holy Grail provides a clue. It describes a vessel of immortality that becomes lost or hidden as humanity drifts away from its original primordial state. This theme of withdrawal appears again in the Hebrew tradition of Luz, a city entirely hidden from the outside world. The word Luz means almond or kernel. It represents the indestructible core that survives when outer layers are stripped away. This underground retreat represents truth surviving spiritual darkness. When civilization loses its way, the core tradition remains intact, withdrawing from public life. The King of the World is a reminder that even in times of chaos, the core principles of justice, peace, and order haven't vanished. They have simply moved to a place where they can remain preserved until the world is ready to receive them again.